Hi, I am Father C.M. Paul, HOD Mass Communication, Salesian College, Sonada. Today my topic is linear and non-linear writing. It is part of overview of web writing for CC8 and introduction to new media for 4th semester. Linear and non-linear writing. Let us begin with writing style for print medium and web medium. Writing style for print medium is linear and author-driven storytelling. Instead, writing for the web medium is non-linear, reader-driven, and ruthless pursuit of actionable content. What is linear writing? Linear writing is when a writer starts at the beginning and plows through to the end without going back to change or fix things. Linear narrative basically describes a story, action, or events in a sequential manner. Non-linear writing, on the other hand, doesn't stick to such a structured format. So it may start with the middle or the end and then describe the entire action as it happened in the past. For example, Wuthering Heights by Emily Jane Bronte is an excellent example of a non-linear narrative where the better part of the story takes place in the past and Heathcliff emerges as a strong anti-hero. Non-linear narrative, a definition. This is a narrative technique where events are portrayed out of chronological order or the logical order and presented in the story. The pattern of events needs to jump around and not follow a linear pattern. For example, the movie Memento and the television show Lost are great examples of non-linear storytelling. Also, Slaughterhouse-Five and Time Traveler's Wife are great literary examples of non-linear narration. We all have pursued an excellently produced website, but somehow we did not connect with it and a few clicks later left the website. One of the reasons for this lies behind a non-linear narrative which was not well developed to reach the final consumer. An online non-linear narrative tells us how to behave, that is, click, how to think, block content, and even how to feel, engage with it. Audiences now expect to shift seamlessly among devices. The challenge now for marketers is how we are going to tell our stories and how the content is going to be delivered. As the joke tells us, content is the king, but queen is the narrative. As the queen controls the king, she ends up influencing the king as much as the whole kingdom. If you want to drive your audience to reach your goals, design a narrative capable of giving your audience their desires. Digital narratives depend massively on your audience's experience and expectations. The web offers so many potential entry points to your website. So, you have to define a role for your audience and design a targeted web narrative paths. You know the story you want to tell. You have the marketing objective. Now it is time to think about how you are going to tell it to reach your goals. That is where non-linear narrative fits in. Plan and design content chunks, content group blocks, correlation, and codependency. As you thread your non-linear narrative, an immersive digital experience is also created. The narrative Threads move the audience from one content to another, working as a path between your goals and the audience. Here are 8 great nonlinear films to enjoy in any order you see fit. Well, we start with the oldest one, 1941, the famous Citizen Kane. The story spanning 60 years and the quasi-biographical film examines the life and legacy of Charles Foster Kane, played by Orson Welles, a fictional character based in part upon the American newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst and Chicago tycoons Samuel Insull and Harold McCormick. Second film, 1959, Hiroshima Mon Amour, Hiroshima My Love, concerns a series of conversations over a 36-hour-long period between a French actress, Emmanuelle Riva, referred to as her, and a Japanese architect, I.G. Okada, referred to as him. They have had a brief relationship and are now separating. Film number 3, 1977, Annie Hall. Comedian Alvy singer Woody Allen examines the rise and fall of his relationship with struggling nightclub singer Annie Hall, Diane Keaton. Speaking directly to the audience in front of a bare background, singer reflects briefly on his childhood and his early adult years before settling in to tell the story of how he and Annie met, fell in love, and struggled with the obstacles of modern romance, mixing surreal fantasy sequences with the small moments of emotional drama. Film number 4, 1994, Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is a great example of non-linear storytelling because it serves the story. The chronology of the film is structured to prevent audiences from realizing that the end of the film is really the middle, and near the middle is really the end. Film number 5, 2000, Amores Perros, meaning loves of dogs. Amores Perros is a bold, intensively emotional and ambitious story of lives that collide in a Mexico City car crash. Inventively structured as a series of overlapping and intersecting narratives, Amores Perros explores the lives of disparate characters who are catapulted into unforeseen dramatic situations instigated by the seemingly inconsequential destiny of a dog named Coffee. Film number 6, year 2000, Memento. A man with a short-term memory loss attempts to track down his wife's murderer. Memento chronicles 2 separate stories of Leonard, an ex-insurance investigator who can no longer build new memories, as he attempts to find the murderer of his wife, which is the last thing he remembers. Film number 7, 2003, 21 grams. A severely ill mathematician, an ex-convict, and a grief-stricken mother find their lives intertwined through a fatal automobile accident that changes them in ways they could never imagine. The film claims human soul has mass and it weighs 21 grams. And the final film, number 8, year 2006, Babel. An accident connects 4 groups of people on 3 different continents: 2 young Moroccan goat herds, a vacationing American couple, and a deaf Japanese teen and her father, and a Mexican nanny who takes her young charges across a border without parental permission. That is the film Babel. Hope you will have a nice time watching at least one of these. 4 things to consider while planning a non-linear story. First, immersion. Second, integration. Third, interactivity. And fourth, impact. First, immersion. Your audience deepens into the story world to learn more about it or heightening their sensory experience of it. Don't forget the physical world, which is already being considered a platform. Second, integration. The narrative must be a cohesive story being told across platforms. The key point here is complement, not duplication. Don't offer one thing in different forms. Each platform has its own characteristic. Third, interactivity. Interactivity. Offer your audience the chance to interact with the elements of the story. Let them be participants. Fourth, impact. Develop the story to inspire your audience to take action in the physical world, such as purchase, share, comment, and so on. So, the four things to consider while planning a non-linear story are immersion, integration, interactivity, and impact. Now let us see 3 key directives of non-linear writing. First, understand your audience. Second, define your goals. And third, offer a meaning. First, understand your audience. It is important that you know who you speak to, what they need, and how you provide their desires. By understanding your audience, you keep them attentive and engaged. Second, define your goals for your narrative. Thread your goal into the narrative so that it drives the audience towards an end result. Third, offer a meaning. Your aesthetic choice on your website should be carefully considered in relation to the narrative you are telling. Ensure everything on your website aligns with your narrative and gives a meaning to your audience. Offering a meaning is twice as likely to accomplish a goal. In conclusion, remember, print medium is linear, author-driven storytelling. Print medium tends toward anecdotal examples. Sentences belong to print medium. The web is non-linear, reader-driven, ruthless pursuit of actionable content. The web medium provides a comprehensive data. Fragments rule the online medium. Thank you.